Hey beautiful, I hope you're doing well. Well, excuse this barnacle on my face, and I know my skin kind of bare. It's usually looking bare, but it's looking a little bit more bare than usual this time because I'm switching rooms. I'm just going to a different room in my house because since my sister went to college, I was searching on my Reddit and I realized that I had a lot of good Reddit threads saved. Quite interesting, and I decided that I will be sharing one of them today. The one that I will be sharing is Serious Tag, Nosy Parents of Reddit. What's the most messed up thing you discovered snooping through your kid's bedroom? Now this should be interesting. And now that I'm looking into the camera, I'm realizing that I have this fucking barnacle on my nose. I don't know what that's about. I'm guessing too much sugar and greasy foods, but we'll see. When my son was 6 years old, I went into his room and found a live pigeon that he had been keeping as a pet. He was really sad when I let it outside. Wow, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine even more because I think I would be very afraid to touch a wild animal, especially if it was in my house. This will make my eyes water. When my son was 3, I found an old banana peel and a clipboard that opened. We were battling a fruit fly infestation and couldn't figure out what they were after. It was so disgusting when I opened that thing and hundreds of flies flew out. I just had an aneurysm trying to read that. I'm sorry, y'all. But, oh my god. Literally, I can feel the horror through that Reddit post. I don't know how I just got through that. Enough of that reply now. My daughter went through a phase when she was around 6 through 8, where she only ever put dirty tissues under her bed. I would regularly be on hands and knees sweeping boxes worth of tissues out from under while going, "Why are you doing this? We have a bin." Thankfully, she's past that. Wow, I can't even imagine. Would you guys believe me if I told you that I have a cousin that literally does that? I don't know if she still does it, but she literally used to do stuff like that. And lucky for me, she will never view this video and she will never find this channel. My parents actually found beer cans under my brother's pillow. His defense, he found a discarded can in the yard and picked it up, planning on throwing it away. He maintains that as truth, even 18 years later. Can you imagine throwing something away Imagine throwing something away out of the fucking backyard and you were like, oh wow, I guess I passed the trash can and just put it under your pillow. A bit sketch, is it not? Our kids share a small bedroom, so there isn't many places to hide stuff. They're young, 4 and 6. We don't let them have much candy or sugary treats. A few times a week they'll have some cookies or something, but not every day. So one day my wife is in there cleaning and she pulls out one of their beds away from the wall to vacuum and found our eldest daughter's stash of candy. She had all kinds there. Kit Kats, Twix, packets of potato chips. It was all unopened except for some bags of hard candy. We were both quite surprised because when we keep the candy out of their reach and hide cupboards in our kitchen, so how exactly did she amass such a collection of delicious contraband? Wow, the way he worded that, contraband, strong ass word. Well, it turned out that she would later take her candy when it was given by us and save it. She would never refuse a treat, even if she didn't particularly want it because she might want it later. So she stashed it behind her bed in the gap against the wall. I found it quite interesting that she could have such a forward thinking to know that she would be able to want some candy later and needed to secure her supply now. I'm not gonna lie to you, like when I opened up this thread, I was but I was expecting some like juicy stories about how moms were finding their daughter's dildos or something, but you know, I guess that doesn't fucking exist anymore. People on Reddit are all 40-year-olds with 6-year-olds and 3-year-olds and shit that keep dead pigeons and stuff. Here we go, Polaroids of my daughter having sex. I can't even imagine what I would think if I encountered a Polaroid of my family member, let alone my daughter having sex. But I guess you could say it's her business or whatever. Not snooping through his room, but stuff he was throwing out. I found my son's journal from when he was about 9. In it, he chronicles how he heard me and my then boyfriend have sex on multiple occasions. I probably died of embarrassment reading it. I have always wondered this. I've always wondered if parents ever think about what if their children ever like heard them have sex or something like that. Because I'm like, I wonder if parents are embarrassed or if they just don't care. Because you know, we've all been there, unfortunately. And you know what? This is actually really funny because when I was 9, I also had a journal where I chronicled crazy shit that would happen in my family, my daily life, which was found years later. And yeah, let's not go down there. That was a that was quite an eventful time. My parents raided my older brother's room. The cum sock. Oh my god, the cum sock. I'm sure that's pretty common, but oof, can you imagine being in a room and you find a stiff ass sock? A sock of steel? Oof. I've been there. Been in my brother's room and just the cum sock. Luckily I don't do his laundry. I don't snoop, so I haven't stumbled across anything too crazy. But when my kids were about in the 3rd or 4th grade, I found a shoebox without the top, filled with actual cash and Jesus dollars when I grabbed their hamper to do laundry. Jesus dollars were something that my kids' school gave out to their kids for good behavior or high scores when doing anything Jesus-like Jesus gets good grades. My daughter was a top student and collected a lot of Jesus dollars. They were allowed to be cashed in at the school store, but my daughter didn't see anything worth buying. My son has always been the kind of kid who could sell ice to an Eskimo, so I combined my daughter's ability to get a lot of Jesus dollars and my son's car salesman skills to sell their fake money for real money during recess. They had 44 real dollars when I found their stash. We don't pay for regular chores, so finding that much money in their closet at that age was a little weird. They admitted to it right away and thought their plan was great, but I did put an end to it because I didn't want their parents to call the school complaining that my kids scammed them out of their snack money. I'm not religious, but it also seemed anti-Jesus to encourage it. My kids are teenagers now, but they keep their rooms clean and have been in charge of their own laundry for years, so their Jesus Dollars operation remains the most shocking discovery, and I hope to keep it that way. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what's more baffling. The fact that 2 siblings at that, were able to team up together at young ages and get actual money, or if it's weird that they were in a school giving out Jesus Dollars, yet the parent that wrote this isn't religious. I don't really get that, but anyway, when my son was 13, I found the nice button-up shirt he swore he lost balled up in the back of his closet. It was covered completely in a white substance and was very stiff. I realized what it was and never said anything. Fast forward 5 years, when my son was 18, I was cleaning up his bathroom. I was cleaning out the linen cabinet and saw what looked like a can of beer on the top shelf in the cabinet. I reached up to get it and pour it out, thinking that he was hiding booze from me. I wanted to get a better look, so I grabbed it and pulled it down. As I did, liquid came oozing down my arm. Though I thought, what the heck? Upon closer inspection, the writing on the can said, "Pussy in a can." The smell of the liquid went down my arm and made me retch as the smell was unbearable. He had tried a half-assed attempt of washing it. I did confront my son about this find, at which point he fell down from hysterical laughter. I died a little inside that day, but I learned an important lesson. He has 2 younger brothers now going through puberty. I will not go in their room, and I always announce myself well before I get into their door. I make sure to be very loud going up the stairs and call them before I even get to the top. You want to know what's so funny? My parents do the same thing. But what they don't know is I always do my dirty business when they're asleep. So I just think it's so funny when they're like, I had to knock, or I had to turn the knob and slowly come in, because I've always found it unnecessary and I never asked. But I'm starting to see why, because I can't even imagine going to my brother's room and finding a pussy in a can or some dumb shit like that. My mom found a contraceptive pill at one point, never said anything about it, but I got home and she tied it in my room and left it nicely on my bedside table. Figured she was just as pleased I was being sensible. Love to see it. Love to see it. Can we normalize focusing on shit that actually matters? Okay, so what your daughter, you see a box of condoms in your daughter's room. Be happy that she's being safe. Don't be happy that she's being sexually active. We're all human. So yeah, that was actually really pleasing to read. I'm sorry, but the replies under it are actually pretty funny to me too. My mom stacked up my dirty pile of drawings she found and put them in a binder nicely for me when I was going visiting my dad, and she decided to clean up my room. Alright, I'm bored. Next one. I already know from reading the first sentence of this one, this is going to be interesting. My mom's worst finds were when she used to read my Facebook messages, rather than go through my room. She found messages where I was admitted to a friend that I was worried I might be pregnant, read all the fights I had with my boyfriends. As I had never held a relationship for very long, all the messages to my friend about feeling like I had no privacy and letting my friend insulting her and me, not defending her. My friend still hates her. This was after I changed my password and she told me that if I don't give her my new one, I would lose all internet access while I was trying to pass GCSE. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, she read those messages about not being sure dating this guy, then she sat me down to talk about breaking up with him and admitting to a close friend that I was experiencing gender dysphoria. She urged me to never stop being a girl. As a child who had a very nosy parent, please just ask your kids about what is bothering them. Till this day, I can't have an open conversation with my mom because I don't trust her anymore. Ugh, my heart aches for people that have parents that just will not let them go or give them any kind of privacy. My mom had a habit of sending me to my room as a child instead of addressing my problem behavior. Depending on her mood, I could be in there for 10 minutes or 2 hours. On one particular day, I either had particularly egregious behavior or she was in a really bad mood. Because when I got sent to my room, I waited for what felt like an eternity. I started to have to use the bathroom and ask for a reprieve, and I was rebuffed. So I did what any other 8-year-old girl would do. I decided to empty the margarine tub. I held my push pins and pee in that. It was such a novelty that I proceeded to hoard margarine tubs and things of similar size to use as toilets for the next few weeks. I closed the lids and carefully stacked them in the desk drawer. And then one day, my mom decided to clean up my room. I heard the yell from the floor away, and I knew the jig was up. I was horrified and scared as a child, but as a full-grown adult, I can't help but giggling to myself. There's my picture of my mom opening that drawer and investigating what were mysterious items in the tubs were. I can't even lie to you, that was pretty hilarious. Jars of piss. Jars and jars and jars of piss. From a girl like that, that was pretty surprising. I feel like people expect behavior like that from a little boy, but a little girl, unheard of. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video of listening of me reading out my Reddit posts, or these Reddit posts with commentary, because they were quite interesting. Anywho, I love you. Stay safe. Peace out. Thank you and good night.